Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Bachelor Clayton Echard shares new details on cheating scandal. Clayton Echard was a guest on ex-girlfriend Susie Evans' new podcast. The Bachelor star shared more details about the cheating scandal that almost ruined their relationship. Keep reading to find out why he apologized to his ex. Susie Evans has new podcast. Susie Evans is the latest Bachelor Nation star to start a podcast. Her Lies podcast premiered earlier this month. She welcomed her ex-boyfriend, Clayton Echard, on for a recent episode. The exes are on good terms, but allegations that he cheated on her nearly ruined their relationship early on. They did eventually split for other reasons. The former couple looked back on the cheating scandal and shared new details of what really happened. Clayton Echard shares new details on cheating scandal. Clayton Echard's season was already pretty scandalous long before he faced cheating allegations. He infamously slept with 2 of 3 of his final 3 women, despite vowing not to. He then broke Gabby Windey and Rachel Recchia's trust by confessing his mistake to Susie Evans, the one he was truly in love with. Susie quit the show in response, but Clayton sent Gabby and Rachel home, determined to make things right with Susie. She turned down his final rose, but they reconciled after filming ended. They debuted their relationship on the After the Final Rose special. In April 2022, a woman claimed on TikTok that she hooked up with a Bachelor star at a club in New York City. Clayton Echard recalled seeing the rumor spread online and said he thought she was referring to season 25 Bachelor Matt James because he lives in NYC. However, the woman later said that it was Clayton that she hooked up with. He was still dating Susie Evans at the time. Clayton said on the podcast that he was stressed out and ate an edible to help ease the stress, but it only made the situation worse for him. He sent proof to Susie Evans that he wasn't even in NYC at the time of the alleged hookup. She believed him and they put the scandal behind them, or so they thought. Why he'd apologized? The woman insisted that she did hook up with Clayton, which caused Susie to have a moment of doubt. Clayton admitted that Susie doubting him stressed him out even more, and apologized for not acting like a gentleman toward her during the cheating scandal. He gave her more evidence to prove that the affair didn't happen. She believed him and they did continue to date until September 2022. She was in a relationship with Bachelor Nation's Justin Glaze until recently. Clayton hasn't publicly dated anyone since his breakup with Susie, but the two are on good terms. She supported him during another scandal when a woman claimed to be pregnant with the Bachelor star's twins. The claims were later disproven in court. Clayton Echard, former lead of The Bachelor, has once again found himself in the eye of a storm. What began as a whirlwind journey of love on national television has spiraled into something far more personal, intricate, and heart-wrenching. A cheating scandal that's captivated media outlets and left fans buzzing with speculation. In an exclusive interview, Clayton sat down to share new details that reveal a different side of the narrative than the one playing out in the tabloids. It's a side that, according to him, needs to be heard, not only to defend his name, but to clear the murky waters of misunderstanding. "I never imagined my life would come to this," he began, his voice tinged with a mix of frustration and fatigue. His eyes, once filled with the optimism that came with his journey on The Bachelor, now held the weight of a man embroiled in a complicated situation. The rumors started subtly. An anonymous tip here, a cryptic Instagram post there. But it wasn't long before accusations flew in full force, dragging Clayton's reputation through the mud. He'd been accused of being unfaithful to a woman he had been seeing after his time on the show. The details were salacious. Texts leaked to blogs, photos of Clayton at a club circulating on social media, and whispers of a secret liaison that painted a damning picture of his character. The world wanted answers, and Clayton, for a long while, remained silent. "There's so much more to this story than anyone knows," Clayton said, leaning forward. "I'm not saying I'm perfect. I've made mistakes in my past, but this isn't what people think." According to Clayton, the night in question, the one where the scandal supposedly took root, was nothing more than a misunderstanding. He had been out with friends, catching up after a long stretch of work-related travel. Someone took a photo of him speaking to a woman at a bar, a moment he insists was innocent. "It was a conversation, that's all it was," he explained. But people saw what they wanted to see, and soon the rumors began to spiral out of control. The next morning, Clayton woke up to find his phone flooded with messages. Friends, family, and fans were all asking the same question: is it true? It felt like my world was collapsing, he admitted. I couldn't believe how quickly people were willing to think the worst of me. The woman at the center of the scandal, someone Clayton described as an acquaintance rather than a romantic partner, had stayed silent through the initial media frenzy. But Clayton shared that they had spoken privately in the days following the accusations. She was just as shocked as I was. Neither of us saw this coming, he said, shaking his head. We had a calm conversation about what really happened, and I thought that would be the end of it. But it wasn't the end. In fact, the rumors only intensified. More sources came forward, claiming that Clayton had been unfaithful on multiple occasions, painting him as a serial cheater. For someone whose love life had already been scrutinized on national television, it was a devastating blow. I can handle criticism. I've been in the public eye long enough to know that it comes with the territory, Clayton explained. But when people start making things up, when they try to tear you down for something that isn't true, it's a different kind of hurt. What hurt the most, he confessed, was the impact it had on his relationships, especially with the women he had dated after his time on The Bachelor. I've been working hard on myself, trying to build real connections after everything that happened on the show, he said. And then this scandal hit, and suddenly, everything felt like it was slipping away. Clayton shared that he's been in therapy, trying to navigate the fallout from the scandal. It's been a tough journey, he said. I've had to face some hard truths about how I let public opinion affect me. I've had to find my own strength in the middle of all this chaos. Despite the difficulties, Clayton remains hopeful. He believes that the truth will come out, and that people will eventually see through the noise. He's also determined to use this experience as an opportunity for growth. I can't control what people say about me, he said, but I can control how I respond, and I'm choosing to respond with integrity, even when it feels like the world is against me. As for the future, Clayton is keeping his head up. He's working on projects that are meaningful to him, particularly in the mental health space, where he hopes to inspire others who are struggling with the pressures of public life. I want people to know that they're not alone, he said. Whether it's dealing with rumors or just trying to figure out who you are in a world that constantly tries to define you, everyone's on a journey, and it's okay to take things one step at a time. In closing, Clayton addressed his fans directly. I appreciate the people who have stood by me, who've believed in me even when the stories made it hard. I'm not perfect, but I'm doing my best. I think that's all anyone can really do. It's a narrative shift that Clayton hopes will bring some clarity to the situation. The truth, as he sees it, is often messier than the headlines make it out to be. But in the end, it's the only thing that matters. The world of reality TV is no stranger to drama, but few stories have captivated fans quite like the recent cheating scandal surrounding former Bachelor star Clayton Echard. The man who captured hearts on season 26 of The Bachelor has now found himself at the center of a controversy that feels almost scripted for primetime television. Clayton, who was known for his charming demeanor and sincere quest for love on national TV, is now facing allegations that have shaken his post-Bachelor life. In an interview earlier this week, Clayton sat down to address the swirling rumors that have dominated headlines and social media threads. With a mixture of vulnerability and frustration, Clayton decided it was time to set the record straight, sharing new details about the allegations of infidelity that have threatened to tarnish his reputation. These last few weeks have been the hardest of my life, Clayton began, his voice steady but tinged with emotion. I never imagined I'd be here, in this position, defending myself against something that isn't true.